Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new Lucy on Cars. You may be thinking, Lucy, what is that beautiful car behind you? Where is your less beautiful car? Well, today is a very exciting day because I am driving an L405 for the very first time and I'm doing a full review video on that today. I'm also planning on filming a comparison of my L322 with this beautiful L405 behind me, a direct comparison video, and we're going to get into the differences in the next video, so make sure you're subscribed and keep an eye out for that. But today is a review on the Land Rover Range Rover L405 behind me right now. So this is the 4.4 diesel SDV8. So we've got the literal fastest and best engine that you can get in these, and it's a 2017 model, so it's a facelift. And another exciting part is this is an autobiography. So we've got top of the range here, and actually one of you guys, one of the viewers of this channel, sent me an email and said, would you like to come and drive my car for the day? I said, yes please, that would be amazing. And now here we are today. So very, very excited for today's video. I really hope you guys are going to enjoy it, and if you do, please remember to give it a big thumbs up. But anyway, without further ado, let's get inside. Let's go for our first drive of the car, and then we're going to come back here, show you some of the features, show you what I like, maybe what I don't like. I don't think there's going to be much that I don't like. And I also want to find out today if this could be my next car. Not this exact car. I do plan on giving this back to the owner today. I'm not planning on driving away with it. And it's not for sale. He's very, very happy with it. He only got it a few months ago. Can you imagine? He's watching like, this is not your car, Lucy, give it back. But yeah, it's an absolute beauty and I'm very excited to show you around it today. You know, things are going wrong a little bit for us with the L322, so we are always open to consider other options, and this is definitely something that we could go towards, something a little bit newer. We're gonna go for the first drive now. Okay, this is it. Are we all ready for my first ever drive of an L405? Here we are. Not very noisy at all. I think ours is definitely noisier when you start it up. This is a 4.4 litre diesel engine, so we're sticking with the diesels, but it's 4.4 litres as opposed to 3.6. So I'm very, very excited to put my foot down in this because it's really going to have some power behind it, and we've got a whole 339 brake horsepower to work with, which is a lot more than I'm used to. So they do a V6 in this also, but this is a V8, the SDV8, which is like top of the range engine, twin turbo. But quickly before we drive off, I do need to show you the fridge. Yes, that's right, the fridge. I now review kitchens as well as cars. If we open this one up here and take a little looky inside, we've got a fridge with some beautifully cooled Ashbeck English natural mineral still water, which is very, very kind of him, isn't it? Topping up the fridge. He has said we can help ourselves. So if we get thirsty, we've got access down there. I was hoping to find champagne in there, but nevertheless, water is very nice. Are we ready? So it's quite a good place we are to try this for the first time because we're about to pull out onto a very, very busy road. So we can really get our foot down. So we've got one of these little twisty knobs instead of a gear stick. Very modern. I have to say, I'm not a huge fan of these. It feels a bit more like I'm turning my heating on than a car, but I think all cars are going this way, so I will have to get used to it. But I do like a gear stick. But anyway, moving on. The steering wheel is turning. It's really quiet, isn't it? We're on a gravel road and I can't hear anything. It's so quiet. There's like no noise. Okay, let's pull out of this car park and then we're heading on to quite a busy dual carriageway, so we can really put our foot down. It's very smooth already. The steering is still fairly heavy in a good way. It's not like a milk float. I think the 3 Series sometimes feels a little bit too light. After you. Yeah, I'm excited to give this a go on the busy road. So my plan is to put my foot to the floor to give my honest reaction to the first ever drive. Okay, let's go. Nice, that didn't take long to get to 50. There's not much of a lag at all actually. That surprised me how quickly we were going then, and suddenly we were keeping up with the traffic on the right lane. I think I was expecting like this crazy push back in your seat moment, but that's not what this car's about, is it? This car just gets you to the speed at the most, actually yeah, it's pretty bloody quick. This car just gets you to the speed in the most comfortable, relaxed way. That was very weird. I've never experienced acceleration like that, where it feels so powerful that you almost can't feel the acceleration and you're suddenly just at the speed. Interesting. Yeah, that's where it really comes to life. When you're already at the speed and you go even faster, that's when you can really feel the power. Wow, this is a beast, isn't it? I'm totally used to the size because obviously it's very similar to the L322, but as we know, a very nice driving position to be in. You're nice and high up, you've got good visibility. This is a perfect road to try this out actually because we've got a lot of tight corners, so let's do some little handling tests here. Wow, amazing. just sticks down solidly. There's no wallowing, there's no roll at all. It feels very safe and very comfortable. I think you could do in like a sort of car chase in one of these, but not really know you're in a car chase. I think you're sat in traffic. The bumps you don't feel, well you feel, but you're not annoyed by them. It doesn't make you go, oh. Despite the 22-inch wheels, you're really in such a comfortable place. We've got paddle shifters as well, which is obviously a lot of fun. And there is head-up display in front of me right now that is telling me my speed and also the speed limit of the road that you're on. So it's really got all the bells and whistles, this car. Okay, amazing handling. Around that roundabout, we went all the way around it and it just takes it in its stride. Oh, that's my water bottle falling over in the back. Amazing. Now let's knock it down a couple of gears and use these paddle shifters a little bit. Lemonette, that's ridiculous. Wow. Oh, hello, fellow L405 owner. Why am I like this? That was really, really fast. Sorry, I'm forgetting I'm filming a video and I'm just enjoying this too much. I'm kind of speechless. It's a really, really lovely car to drive. The handling's ridiculous, and when you do go into manual, you're not ever sort of hitting the red line. The red line is just after 4,000 RPM, so you're still very comfortable, and it's not like some whiny, it didn't sound any different really, did it? It's just amazing. The power is all very much available in that lower rev range. Amazing. So now we're going to have a little walk around of the car and have a look at the exterior, and then we're going to head back inside and show you guys some of the features inside. As you saw from that, I very much enjoyed my first drive in this car. I really hope it's not my last drive in an L405, and the longer I spend with this car, the more I see myself living with one of these in the future. Also, I feel like I should mention I've recently had Invisalign fitted and I think this whole video it's a bit lispy, so hopefully it's not too obvious and you can still understand me okay. Even saying understand, I think it's coming up more now that I've said it. So this Range Rover has 22-inch wheels, and originally they weren't black, they've been painted black, but they had I'll pop a photo in here actually of the original photos. They were the sort of silvery white with black, and they're really lovely wheels actually. Let's take a closer look. We've got some massive red brake calipers as well just through here, and I quite like them in black actually. I've never been one for like painted black wheels, but I think it really suits this car because you've still got all of the silver features along the side, the silver on the handles, and I think with it being Autobiography, the black wheels work really, really well. These tyres are the Pirelli Scorpions, and they're actually like the best tyres for this car in terms of fuel economy and the wet weather. And even in the car there wasn't much road noise at all, so I think these are very, very good tyres. I'm slightly jealous of these tyres. I'm slightly jealous of this entire car, but specifically the tyres, because we still have our very, very embarrassingly cheap tyres on our car right now, and these are the ones we were looking to get, obviously the different size, but yeah, these are the 22-inch wheels and they really suit the car. I also quite like with this how it's not too modern. The front grills here, we've still got this kind of like tractory look. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know, this is quite chunky still. It's not gone so far forward. I think the brand new model, the L460, is so smooth and so sort of robotic looking. This still looks like a car, and I think it's the last model of these that still look like a car. I quite like these 3 stripes here as well in the silver against the black. And then I'm not sure if it's an Autobiography thing, but we've got the sort of black detailing inside the lights. The rear lights are smoked as well, but it's just a really good looking car. Now I need you to correct me if I'm wrong here, because I might be giving some false information out, but I'm pretty sure these grills aren't actually a practical use anymore. I don't think they're for airflow, unless that's the newest model, but I really can't see any gap, and I think it's just for looks. They're almost like gills on a fish or something. Correct me if I'm wrong, I can't remember if it's this model or the new model where they've no longer got a practical use and it's purely just for looks, but they do look great. These are very smoked, aren't they? You almost can't see that there is a light inside it. But I do like it. It's quite a simple rear, we shall call it. And something else I'll show you in a second, but it's a one take thing here. Instead of with the L322, I've got to open the top and then press a button to come down. This is like a one smooth togetherness automatic thing. But we have still got our trusty tailgate. This is the nappy changing tailgate. Let's test it out. Oh, there we go. Oh god, the car wobbled a bit more than I hoped it would then. Classic Range Rover, countryside walks, getting your boots on and off. I think it's still like got that practical side to it, and it's not so far into like the modern car. It's still got the more rugged features that I love so much about these cars. Now we've got the electric folding seat buttons here, which is so handy. The amount of times Honestly, George, I can't even tell you the amount of times I've been in a car fiddling around trying to like find handles and, oh, how does that seat go down? Is it that button? Try pulling on it. Oh no, that does something else. That is so handy to have. I do like that feature a lot. And in terms of boot space, if we just, is it a fold? No. In terms of boot space, I mean, it's looking pretty similar to ours. I almost want to say it looks smaller. I think it's, no, that is quite a lot smaller, isn't it?
I think it is.
Overall, this car definitely has got more, how can I explain this? It's chunkier, the doors are thicker, every part of it feels thicker and more padded, therefore the inside space definitely feels smaller. It's a lot less square, it's more rounded and more inwards. I always used to describe the difference between the X4, for example, and the X3 in a BMW, as the X3 is sort of square and outwards, so you've got all that extra space, but the X4 curves inwards more, so you lose the internal space, even though it's a similar sized car. And that's how I feel about this. It's definitely smaller than the R322. Well, it looks smaller, I need to check the stats, but I can't imagine that being the same size just looking at it. But I mean, like, that probably is all you need, realistically. It's still a huge boot. And then when we want to close it, we just press this one button up here and both close. I thought it was gonna do it then, and both close at the same time. We've got the Autobiography little badge on the back here, which is a nice feature. And even the Land Rover badge here has been blacked out, and he hasn't put a horrendous UK sticker on it and left it on it for a year either, so I like your work there, very good. The only thing I do slightly miss is, as easy as that is pressing one button and it closing all together, I do kind of miss that, like, throwing it back and like shoving the boot in, that big clunk, like a dudung. This is very much like closing very softly. I'm comparing them too much. That's the next video. We need to not compare. This is just about this car today. Okay, so let's see what it's like to be a passenger in this car. Now, I can see why people get chauffeured around in these. This is amazing. I actually could fall, I think I might be falling. Sorry, my eyes open before you tapped me. Very good. Anyway, this is amazing. That is the comfiest headrest I've ever put my head on. I thought the BMW 7 Series had the comfiest headrest in the world. I was wrong. Jeez. I'm not even joking, I could fall asleep now. So you've got a lovely armrest here, which just fits my hand shape perfectly. You see the curve there? The curve in my back perfectly fits the curve in this seat. I can't believe how comfy this is. This is comfier than the front seat, and that's rare. Normally I feel like manufacturers put the effort into the front seats, but I'm actually preferring sitting back here right now. You can drive me home. And there's even electric adjustment in the back, which is always good. A nice little vent here. There's just added extras, aren't there? There's an air conditioning vent right there to keep your right thigh cool in this hot weather. Not to mention one here that keeps your right ear cool. So really all your important body parts are being kept nice and cool in this car. All heated in winter. This is a nice handle. This feels lovely. It's not the classic like cheap stuck on grab handle that you'd expect. It's actually been coated in leather and it's a pleasure to hold. There's leather roof lining as well, which is quite special. It's just really nice back here. I actually prefer sitting here than in the front. Let's pop this back as well to see how much space we've got in the middle seat. Oh wow, look at that. The Autobiography there looks great. And then as a middle passenger, normally you're forfeiting quite a lot being the middle passenger. No one wants to be the middle passenger, do they? How are we here? I mean, it's making me do this a bit. Not too comfy, but it's not meant to be too comfy really. One thing I do need to mention as well is the sunroof. Look up, it's huge, and I believe it's going to go a lot further back than it is. I'm undoing the whole thing, that's not what I meant to do. That's fine. Oh, that's the button, that opens it. There you go, look. Nice. It's like a huge panoramic sunroof. Wow, that's so nice. So, again, as a rear passenger, you've got this amazing, what is that? A moped. You've got this amazing panoramic sunroof. I actually want that closed because you can't see that it's panoramic. There we go, that's better. You can now appreciate the beauty of this ginormous piece of glass above my head. Really nice panoramic sunroof. You're gonna actually have to drag me out of here, George. I don't really want to leave. I might set up camp for the night. I might do one of Joel's videos. 24 hours in my, not mine, my borrowed L405. To the owner of this car, will you allow me to sleep in it? Now I have to say, sitting in the front here is very, very nice. It's leather everywhere, more leather than I imagined there to be, but there's also this plastic black shiny material everywhere. One thing I will say, I don't love the plastic on the steering wheel because I wear quite a lot of rings, you see, and as I'm driving it's very noisy, and I think I like it being leather all the way around more. However, the actual steering wheel I think is a very, very good looking steering wheel. We've got the TV screen here as well, and it's also the same as the L322 where you can like look at it from both sides, which I think is quite a fun feature. I love this as well. Is it a speaker all the way along? Or is it just meant to look like a speaker?
It might be.
It might be a speaker. I don't know why you'd have material like that if it's not a speaker actually, now I'm saying it out loud. But that looks nice as well. I wonder if his glove box is broken like ours, and if I press this button it all falls apart in my hands. That's not luxury, guys. This is not the epitome of luxury, is it? Ooh. Very nice. There we go. That is a very, very smooth glove box. It's little things like that where I think it's a lot less clunky than ours and very much smoother. And that is going to conclude today's video of the L405, my first ever drive, my first ever sit inside one, my first ever real close-up look, and I have very much enjoyed it. So thank you so much to the owner for allowing this to happen today. It's been very, very fun and I really, really appreciate it. I'd love to hear all your opinions down in the comments below, what you think of this car, if you've got one, if you've driven one, if you've had a chance to compare it to the L322, please let me know down below. If you're new, please don't forget to subscribe and give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it today. Look out for the comparison video. I'm going to get the L322 parked up next to the L405, and that's coming next week on the channel. But without further ado, I'm going to end this video now and hop back in the car and drive it back to its owner. I'm very sad about this. Right. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.